KWTS, the 191.1 FM, the station for your generation. The name and slogan of West Texas A&M University's own student-run radio station, using 100 watts to air only throughout the campus when it first launched on October 1st, 1972. As the station's 50th anniversary approached, an idea to do something big was introduced, and through a long creative process, it was decided that the station would be reformatted to all 90s. All right, so first question is to state your name and occupation.
My name is Dane Glenn, broadcast engineer and part-time instructor.
I'm Isaiah Tanner. I'm a full-time student at West Texas A&M University and program director for KWTS FM.
All right, now when did the idea for reformatting the One first occur?
The idea for reformatting the One occurred about a year ago.
I'd heard about it, and then we didn't start putting it into action until probably May was the first I started working on it.
We were kind of debating with the 50th anniversary coming up, what big announcements, what big things we should do, and that was one of them. There were many different formats out there that we had tossed around in discussion, but it ultimately landed on the 90s.
Could you give us the rundown of the process that you guys went through of reformatting the station?
So basically, when reformatting the station, we had to come up with an entirely new station. So we had our current, or I guess now our old one, the College Indie Rock going, and then we had to totally build a 90s station for that. And in doing so, we went through the top 100 songs of each year from 90 to 99, and just started creating a master list of which songs we wanted on the station.
And then we also had to go through and we would clip the ends of the song to where there's no dead air.
And then whenever it came time for reformatting, we had to get IT involved. RCS, which is our company that we work with in terms of our selector and music and so on.
And then we'd also have to write down certain time markers in the song. That was specifically my job, and it was a really tedious job to have. And then we would also have to load it into two different softwares. G Selector, which is the scheduling, which says what song is going to play and when. And then the other was Next Gen, which is the automation software, which pulls the songs that G Selector wants it to.
And we had to just make a big swap. And it took about a day to make the transition.
So aside from the reformat, what was done to celebrate 50 years? Like, that's such a milestone.
Right. So to celebrate 50 years, we went all out. We wanted to center it around some big momentous event on campus. That's why we chose homecoming. We thought that would be a great way to give even more of a reason for alum to come back and celebrate. But we had trivia, ranging from movie to music. We had all sorts of trophies out for those who kind of like missed their chance to grab it whenever they graduated, to come back and get those. We had on-air interviews with past DJs, and we did that decade by decade. So I think the earliest that I know of was 1974. We also had a few special show hosts come back and actually host an hour's worth of their old shows, bring their own music and so on. That was really cool.
All right, and how have listeners so far responded, and how do you sort of predict they will continue to respond to the reformat?
You know, I think that it's a great improvement on what we had originally.
So far, listeners have responded positively. We've had great feedback. There's some that want us to add more music, and we will. We'll get there. But so far, yeah, it's been astounding how much praise we've gotten for the switchover.
I think a lot more people know what we're playing, and that's, if you're listening to a radio station, you want to know what song it is about 70% of the time, and then that other 30% can be new stuff to them.
For the future, I think, honestly, I believe it'll be strong. It'll remain strong. It's something unique. I mean, other radio stations in the area, they have their 90s-ish segments on their stations. You know, you can tune into Spotify with a 90s playlist, Sirius XM, and so on. But I think for terrestrial, especially for college rock or college radio, this is a huge milestone. It'll only continue to grow.
Overall, we've heard nothing but great things So, I mean, everybody's enjoyed it. Had a few people that were a little uncertain at first, but once we actually got the ball rolling and had it up and running, it was nothing but good. So.
All right, and last question. So the original slogan for the One was, the station for your generation. But now that it's a throwback to the 90s station, what's the new slogan?
It's real simple.
90s on the One.